Hello everyone, welcome or welcome back. I hope you're having a positive and productive day so far. My name is Kel with the Planner Owl, and today I'm reviewing the December Intention Box by Cloth and Paper and walking through all the ways you can use what's inside. This box took a really long time to get here this month, but I'm excited to see what they're ending the year with. The theme this month is around archiving, and similar to how in November we get a new spiral planner, December is when we get a new archive box. I was not a huge fan of last year's, but I really loved the 2022 box, so I'm curious to see how the 2024 box holds up. Make sure to stick around until the end for my final thoughts and rating, and as always, feel free to leave me a comment below with any questions or topics you'd like for me to include in my next video. Without further ado, let's hop in. So first we have our What's Inside card that details what's in the box, and then we have the February calendar card. If you didn't catch last month's review, they did change the design for 2025. We're no longer getting the pop-up tent cards that we got this year. Instead, we have a larger card with your full calendar on a Sunday start and lines at the bottom to list important dates. The card itself is a thick textured cardstock, and you have a slightly lifted print design at the top to add a little visual interest. I like this card so much better than this year's. I'm glad they included lines here and made the card bigger. It makes it much more practical and adds to the flexibility of how you can use it. Next, we have our December reflection card. This month, the text at the top says archival in uppercase, and the question prompt asks, how do you decide what to keep and what to forget? This is the 12th and hopefully last reflection card I will see. I was not a fan of getting these each month. I'm keeping 2 of them, but the rest are going in gift bags for Christmas. If you're looking for ways to use these, you can definitely keep these in your purse or bags. They are mirrored, so you can use it as one, or you can use it as a reflective journaling card in your agenda if you like that look. If not, these would make perfect stocking stuffers for the holidays, or just good little gifts in general to include in a gift bag or grab bag or something. Next, we have this editor's note card. You may remember last year's was a horizontal vellum. This year is printed on a vertical textured cardstock, and you can use this card to list your word or phrase of the year and keep in the front of your agenda as a reminder. My focus phrase for 2025 is growth is on the other side of discomfort. For me, it's a good reminder to get out of my comfort zone and to really push myself next year, even when things get really tough or challenging. I didn't use the one last year. It just didn't fit my 2024 design. I probably won't use this one next year either, not because I don't like it, but my setup next year is really minimal and this won't really fit in with my planner theme. If this does fit your design style and you like the look of journaling cards in your agendas, I think this is a great way to highlight what you want to focus on for the year. It has a simple design so it can pair well with different colors and styles, and I also like that it's on cardstock this year instead of vellum. The vellum is pretty, but with cardstock you don't have to worry as much about using special ink or anything. You can just use a regular pen and write as you wish. Great little card to include in the December box and a good way to get started off on the right foot for 2025. Next, we have a set of planner system cards. Here they've included 3 printed on a light beige textured cardstock. At the top you have planner focus and then 2 lines to write your system and 2 for cover. Below that you have 3 blank boxes to list your sections with 4 lines for each box, and at the bottom you have 4 lines to list your accessories. I like these cards. I think they're great to have for those who may be changing their planner system or routine for the new year, or if you utilize a multi-planner system and you need to keep track of what you have in your supplemental agendas. Because these cards have a very structured setup, they're pretty easy to use, but I do think they have a couple of setbacks depending on how you have your planner set up. So using my main agenda as an example, for system, I'll put everyday carry, and for cover, I'll write Louis Vuitton GM Damier Ebene. Because I have more than 3 sections, I'll combine the first 2, which are my overview and schedule. The second is my content section, and the third is notes and miscellaneous. On the right hand side, I'm just writing the inserts that make up each section, and then at the bottom, I'm listing what accessories I'm using in my everyday carry. So this would be my dividers by Gracie Edits, my dashboards, and whatever else that I want to include. Because they have 3, you can use these in more than one agenda, and it could be a good way to track the type of planner flow that works the best if you're purchasing a new planner and need a starting point when setting it up. I think the biggest limitation of these is how limited you are in terms of versatility. If you have a planner with a lot of sections, you're going to be limited in what and how much you can include on this card. You can certainly combine sections like I did here, but if you have a planner with 6 and 7 sections and a lot of subsections, you'll probably run into some space issues. The other limitation is the amount of writing space. Looking at the accessories section here, this likely isn't enough room for a lot of planners, which means you'll end up cherry picking what you write and what you don't, meaning it won't be a fully comprehensive list. The good thing though is that this should be a perfect card for those with a bare bones agenda, and it's also great for those of us looking to simplify our routines for the new year. I likely won't use these, but I do think they're great to have. As long as your planner is focused more on minimal planning, then I think you'll get good use out of these. Next, we have one dashboard. This is printed on the same thick, heavily textured cardstock that you've seen with the other items this month. This is super simple. It's all white with Chaos Makes the Muse printed in the middle, over top this lifted abstract print and cloth and paper at the bottom. So I am a fan of this dashboard. I love the simplicity of the design itself and the saying as well. Some of the best ideas and inspiration happen during challenging or unpredictable times, and this is a great reminder of that. I will say, although I do love the dashboard, I'm not a huge fan of the texture on this, maybe because it covers such a large area, or it could be because the texture is so prominent on this one, but I would have preferred if it was a smooth cardstock instead. That's super minor though, because this is one of the better ones that they've sent recently, but just something I wanted to point out. I'm not sure how I'm going to use this just yet. It might go in between my subsections in my main agenda, or I may use it as a background under a vellum cover, but either way, it's a great simple dashboard that's going to fit a lot of people's planner themes for 2025. Next, we have one set of inserts this month. These are the archive planner inserts. There's 15 sheets total, so 30 pages front and back. At the top, it says archive, and then you have 4 sections on each page. Each one has a space to write the title, category, and date, followed by a graph grid box. So looking at the demo page here, these are intended to be used as a way to list out and archive your most memorable or significant experiences for the year. So for example, here they have a birthday dinner and they write out what happened and a little about how it made them feel. And here they listed completed an online course, what they gained from it, and a few lessons that it taught them. I think that's a really great idea for these. It really opens the door to a lot of things that we do when we journal, and it's a good way to reflect on your year as you prep for 2025. You can write down any achievements that you accomplished for the year or any memories or experiences that stand out. So this could be things like weddings, graduations, birthdays, maybe you got a new job or quit a bad job, maybe you met one or more of your goals. These serve as almost like a memory log of moments for the year. If you already have reflection inserts or you use another method like journaling or other inserts for memory logging, you can use these as dedicated goal tracking inserts. You can write your goal here at the top and then write down your action steps here below. Then, as you meet each one, you can write the date you met it and list any detail that you want on your grid. You can also use it to track your habits or as a progress tracker on large projects. Because it's split into 4 equal sections, similar with a goal tracker, you could write the name of the project at the top and use each grid to write out the detail of whatever stage you're at, make a few checklists related to each accomplishment, and then check it off as you go. That's the great thing about these sort of open-ended inserts like these. You can use them in a variety of ways outside of their intended purpose. I don't have plans to use these right now, but I'm going to keep them on hand in case I decide to use them in the future. They're really versatile inserts and can benefit a lot of planners no matter what the purpose of your planner is. It's always great to get inserts in these boxes, and these are going to be a good addition to my library. Next, we have 2 storage pouches. These are a semi-transparent heavy vinyl with a white plastic border and a white zipper. They're both 9.5 by 7 inches and have cloth and paper stamped at the bottom and the cloth and paper logo on the vinyl zipper tab at the top. So when I first saw these on their sneak peek, I was not a fan at all. They looked very plain, almost like something you could pick up in the grab and go section at the store, but after seeing them in person, they're a lot nicer than I initially thought. First of all, they have some weight to them, so they don't feel flimsy or like they're going to tear super easy, and because it's vinyl, you can wipe it clean really easily, so you can use this to hold things like hand sanitizer, lotion, contact solution, or other liquids that may spill without having to worry about damaging it. I do like the size, however, I'm a little bummed at the zipper placement. I originally wanted to use these to hold A5 inserts, and while the pouch itself is big enough for them, the zipper cuts off almost 2 inches of width, meaning that you're going to have a really tough time getting them into the pouch itself, which again, definitely a bummer. If you have smaller inserts, that won't really be a problem, but for those who use larger planners, you'll definitely damage your paper if you try to squeeze it inside. Outside of inserts or dashboards, you can of course use this to house just about anything you want. If you want to use it in your office, you can store pens, pads, sticky notes, and other accessories. This will make a great little bag for receipts or things if you have a budget planner. You can use it as a medicine bag or something in the kitchen, or throw one in your suitcase or your car and just use it as a travel bag. I'll probably keep one for myself and then give the other one to my mom. It's a super simple and useful bag that we can both get use out of. Again, I really wanted to use my inserts here, so it sucks that I can't use it for those, but there's a ton of other things that I can use it for, so it's not the end of the world. A very practical addition to the box and a good way to archive a variety of your content for 2024. Next, we have the stainless steel sticky note holder and stencil. Here they included a set of 100 3-inch by 3-inch plain white sticky notes with cloth and paper and silver at the bottom. You have a stencil plate with 7 circles, lines, and squares, and the holder that everything sits in. So you'll notice if you've subscribed to their boxes over the last 8 months, this is the same design as a number of their other stainless steel desk accessories they've sent this year, and I think that this is a neat addition. This was designed to be used together, so you can use the stencil to make a list on your sticky note and everything will be nice and centered, but of course you can always use these separately as well, which is what I plan to do. I already have a ton of list stickies, but I like these notes with the silver writing by themselves. I also like the stencil by itself, and I love that you get the option to use a squared or circled list, or just create lines if your insert already has the checkboxes themselves. And if you just want a simple sticky note holder and nothing else, you can use the tray here to hold a variety of 3x3 stickies. They have these little rubber feet, which is great to keep this from slipping and sliding all over your desk. I like this, and I'm sure people will get good use out of it. I love that it's a desk accessory, but they keep it really practical as opposed to being just a nice to have piece. The stencil, sticky notes, and holder can all be used together or separately, which makes it a super functional planning accessory and a great addition to a functional planning subbox. So next we have our archive box for 2024. I mentioned this earlier, but this is the third archive box we've received. The first was a cloth flip-top box, the second was the silver reflection box, and this year we have this simple white box with a tabbed drawer. So right off the bat, this is by far my favorite out of all of these. I like the simplicity of the design. You have archive on the top in gray and brackets, and the only other lettering is on the spine. It says archive at the top and then cloth and paper 2024-2025 at the bottom. The drawer has this faux leather little tab here, and it pulls out so you can store whatever you want inside. This is a great storage box. It would look really nice on your desk or bookshelf. It's a really good size as well. You can store a lot of things inside, but it's still not too bulky, so it doesn't take up as much space. You can also store it horizontally or vertically, depending on what you have inside or where you plan to keep it. It would be a great place to house inserts for the upcoming year or past year. You can store dashboards or other supplies in it. You can keep a planner in here as long as they aren't too thick. And if you don't want to use stationery at all, you can throw photos or other little items you have around the house in it as well. Both of mine have random stationery inside, but I think I may actually use this one at my vanity. I need a place for all of my hair ties and bands and clips and things, and this would be a perfect place to stick those. If I don't use it for that, I may end up using it to house the rest of my journaling cards. Right now I have them in one of my Louis Vuitton planner boxes, but I'm starting to run out of space. I also like that I don't have to remove the whole box to grab a card. I can leave it where it is on my shelf and just pull out whichever one I need with the drawer. Again, a great addition to the December box and a significant improvement on last year's archive box. Definitely a win in my book, and a lot of subscribers are going to love this box for sure. The last item in our box this month is our set of writing utensils. This month we have 2 pens. First is the Sakura Jelly Roll Gel Pen. This one is in black and has a 0.5mm bead tip. Doing a pen test here, this is a super smooth pen and very highly pigmented. Jelly Roll pens have a great reputation overall, and this one writes really nice, no skipping or scratchiness. It also feels good in your hand, and it has a half barrel grip, so it should be a good size for most people. If you're looking for a new everyday planner pen, I think this is a really great choice. The ink is also quick dry, so you don't have to worry as much about smearing. The second pen is a fountain pen. This has a wood and brass barrel with a gold spin top. If you're not familiar with fountain pens, they tend to be a little more upscale and complex than regular pens, which also makes them a bit more cumbersome. This one comes with a little jar of ink in the color olive green. They didn't include any instructions on how to fill it, but essentially you just screw the top portion off and pull the loader from the tip, spin this little black plastic part down until it's at the end where the clear hole is, dip it in the ink, twist back up to fill it, and then reattach. You can fill it with the tip on if you want to, but it'll be a lot more messy that way. This pen is much more complicated than a lot of other types of fountain pens, but the good thing is that it allows you to change your ink super easy without having to buy separate refills. You can also mix colors and make your own ink if you like to do that. A lot of people also like the look and feel of having separate ink jars. It looks very like historical and vintage, so if you like that as well, then this style of pen may work for you. So doing a pen test here, this writes really nice. I like the flow of the ink and the color dries into a medium shade of olive, which people will either love or hate. I do like the green, and I understand that they gave us this likely due to the holidays, but for long-term or consistent use, I would have loved it if they included black as well, so we could choose which color that we wanted to use, or mix the two and have a darker green that people may want to use in their agenda. Overall though, I like the pen itself. It looks nice and it's a nice writing experience, which is always great. I personally don't use fountain pens, although I have in the past. A lot of people love them though, especially those who tend to write a lot. You have more options to find a pen specific to your writing style, so I'm really glad that they included this one this month. And that wraps up the December Intention Box by Cloth and Paper, the last box of 2024. So overall, I really liked this box. Nearly everything had a practical use and had a number of different ways you could use everything. A lot of items fit the theme really well, including the new archive box. My favorite item this month is the archive box. It's such a marked improvement on last year's, and the drawer makes it super versatile and easy to use. My least favorite item is the fountain pen. I do think it's a good pen. I just don't use fountain pens in my routines anymore, and if I did, I definitely wouldn't use green ink. Again, it's a great pen, but compared to the other items in the box, this is the one that I would be least likely to use. All in all, I'm rating this box a 9 out of 10. This month gave us more functional products with a wide range of use compared to prior months. There really wasn't any bad items, which was nice to see. We got a set of inserts that you can use in a number of ways, a sticky note and stencil set that you can use together or separately, and if you like fountain pens, we got one to try out, which is a nice unique add to the box. I'm really glad that they ended the year on a high note. The theme is perfect for December, and the box as a whole is my favorite box this year. I'm looking forward to January, and hopefully they continue to prioritize functionality. And that is it, you guys. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you do want to see more planning and organizational content, please hit that like button and subscribe. You would help my channel out a lot. My budget planner setup and the Infinite Lotus sub-box review are both coming this weekend, so make sure to hit the notification bell so you'll get a ping when those are posted. Also, don't forget to follow me over on Instagram for more planner tips and inspo, sending positive vibes your way. Until next time, stay safe and have a wonderful rest of your day.